We brought you the video exclusively of the low crowd levels on July 4th inside Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. And the cupcakers, the pixie dusters, the Disney shills were not thrilled with our coverage, claiming that we're fibbing, that we're lying, that we're misleading. Today, we'll be leading you to the truth with video clips and with data. And guess what, folks? We've got others now joining us, throwing an assist and saying, it's true. All of it. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the place that gives you the news you want to know, and we do so ahead of time every single time, skipping the line and bringing you what you should get tomorrow right here today. Folks, as we get underway, consider clicking the like button. We'll dive in, and we've got exclusive information when it comes to Disney World that you just have to know. Here we go. All right, here we go. Out of that Park Place, Magic Kingdom sees shockingly low crowds on July 4th, raising alarms for Disney. Marvin Montanaro is the author here. And Marvin, we had sent him, Vash, to go do some reporting for us at Magic Kingdom on July 4th. And then we did a video on that. So we're going to cover this article in just a minute. But we did a video on that, Vash. And let's just say that we got a bit of a backlash over our video. And I don't know why. I don't know what's up with the cupcakers, the pixie dusters, etc. But Vash, here's the video that we did. It says exclusive videos, Walt Disney World empty on 4th of July, Magic Kingdom shocks with low crowds. It got 222,000 views at the time of this recording and lots of positive comments. But folks, I'm not going to go down and embarrass anybody. I'm not going to put anybody on the spotlight. But Vash, we got a lot of folks out there who said, you're lying. Not true. I'm here right now and it's crowded. It's shoulder to shoulder, etc. And yet, that Park Place has the photos. We did the video. We showed people exactly what the wait times are. We've got them right here. People were furious at us. This is a picture, literally, on July 4th, with people there. And now listen, the cupcakers were furious at us, Vash. And even some outlets out there that cover Disney took some shots at us. I'm not going to name them, okay? And some of them, we liked them, okay? And on the Patreon, I mentioned this and who it is, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to engage in a fight or anything. We like those people, even when they're critical of us. But what I don't get, Vash, is WDW Magic is even confirming this. On the 4th of July, WDW Magic came out and said, July 4th, 2025, wait times at Disney World surprisingly low so far today. And it's got a stock picture of it not being crowded, or of it being crowded, but it really wasn't. And you can see that if we go down here, they've got Pirates of the Caribbean, Kilimanjaro Safaris, 25 minutes, Buzz Lightyear, 30 minutes. The Tower of Terror was at 25 minutes on the 4th of July. Even WDW Magic was corroborating with us. So Vash, why is it? What is it that has caused these people out there to disclaim what we're saying? Why are they being so profane? We've got so many out there. I don't want to put them on the screen again, but a great many said essentially that we were liars. What is it that's driving people to deny that the crowds are low this year, Vash?
To answer that, I'll answer that in just a second. The video footage that you're seeing on screen is all conducted by Marvin, who was down there, saw it firsthand, recorded all this video. It's from the 4th of July, so, just to clarify that statement right there.
And I'm going to show something real quick, Vash. Folks, we have to go to this extent. I mean it. Look at the shadows, okay? For those of you who say, he was there at 7 a.m., he got in with the early resort, whatever, the extra hours. Folks, look at the shadows. No, it's not noon, but it's not, it's not the break of dawn. It's in the middle of the day. Look at the shadows. You can see it, okay? All right, keep going, Vash.
And I think we have multiple things playing out here. So I think the people most inclined to see the fireworks on 4th of July, well, maybe you have two possibilities. Maybe they went to other parks like Disney Studios or Animal Kingdom and hopped over at around the 5 o'clock mark, right, in order to get their positions, whether it be Epcot or Magic Kingdom. That's possible. And maybe the annual pass holders or anybody inclined to see those fireworks also came later in the day. That's a possibility. But we have seen now a couple times where 4th of July crowds are just not where they should be. And by the way, this is an effect that's happening on both coasts. Interestingly enough, Disneyland also had very, very low crowds on the 4th of July, which was particularly surprising because everybody, there are so many Magic Keys actually out there. Now, in both instances, your lower passes are blocked out for that day. So perhaps that does have some kind of effect on that. However, to have almost nobody show up, and here's the thing, Pro, to use LW Ghosts, it gets worse line. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen right here. This is from Visit Orlando. Orlando tops the nation for 4th of July holiday travel. What does it say?
You better get those cookies, Vash. They really want to sell you some cookies. I hope they're chocolate chip.
Well, that's the thing, Pro. You see, people were in Orlando. According to Visit Orlando, they were pacing 10% ahead of last year in bookings in the Orlando area. That's between July 4th and July 6th. The problem? They didn't go to Walt Disney World. That's the big issue. That's why I said it gets worse, because people were in the area. They just weren't inclined to go to the parks themselves. That should have Disney very concerned.
So we didn't make it up, is what you're saying. Like that video that picked up 200,000 views. We didn't just make it up. We didn't con people. We didn't go in at 7 a.m. and take video. This wasn't old footage. Like, legitimately, the crowds. And here, I'll show you one more thing. Okay, if you go to let me get control for just a minute, Vash. If you go to Disney Tourist Blog and you scroll way on down, I'm not going to do it right now, but if you scroll way on down. Disney Tourist Blog is saying that the entire month of June ranked at a 2 out of 10 for crowdedness. A 2 out of 10. And it's going to get worse. And I think that a lot of these cupcakers and pixie dusters, they're terse with us because they wish they had been telling the truth, because now it's and I know, listen, I'll show you this, okay? It says down here, let's get here. It says, Walt Disney World is having a slow summer. Another one. This does not mean that the parks are dead or ghost towns. Calling the parks empty is an exaggeration. Now, we have called the parks empty, right? Because look at that. There's the video. Walt Disney World empty on 4th of July. Okay, so maybe Tom is taking a shot at us. It's okay. There's a video playing. Listen, when we say that the parks are empty, we're not actually saying, folks, that there's zero people inside the parks. We're using language that everybody can understand to emphasize just how few people are there. We're not saying that they're completely devoid of individuals, right? That would be closed. But they're empty in comparison to what they should be. 2 out of 10 for the month of June in terms of crowdedness. That's amazing, because we think attendance is going to drop lower in July and August. Ron, you're there very often in the parks. What the heck is going on? And how will the destruction of Frontierland affect this?
Oh my gosh.
See? Oh, your response says everything, because we all know this is going to go down.
Yeah, so I was at the parks in July of 2020. July, August, September 2020. It was great. Why was it great? Because they were keeping the capacity to below 10% because of something that was going on in the environment that they all made us cover our faces for and stuff like that. But it was fantastic. I went to Animal Kingdom with my older son, and we got on Flight of Passage 3 times in a row as a walk-on. It was awesome. Here's the thing. I go to the parks now in June, and it is almost like that. It is so weird. The Magic Kingdom, I was looking at wait times on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. The 6th, Sunday, the park had completely emptied out. This is probably a different shot, because when I was looking at my app for the wait times on the 6th on Sunday, I've never seen 0-minute wait times listed for things, and there were at least 5, 6, 7 attractions that on the app there was a 0-minute wait time listed.
I didn't even know they would do that.
No, 5 to 10 minutes is usually walk-on territory. Sometimes even 15, 20 is walk-on territory, depending on how long it takes you to get to walk in the line, right? So 0, that was nuts.
Let me show you how bad it is real quick. Ron, and let me get Lauren in. Then I'm going to come back to you. I want you to keep going on this, but I do want to get Lauren in. Here's the data that we have, and you just don't know it till I show it. You got to understand how catastrophically bad this is, and all the analysts out there, and all of the economic predictors out there, the prognosticators. Listen, you'd be better off having Punxsutawney Phil at this point decide how busy Disney is. Lauren, you're a data guy. You get the data, you get the stats. Let me show you something, Lauren. So every one of these bars is a different month of the year. Okay, so March, April, May. You get the idea, right? And we can all see the trend line since we went back to normal lines in 2022. Before that, it was all crazy, so none of that data works for us because plexiglass, 6 feet apart, you get the idea. But in 2022, we went back to normal. And the trend line, I'll hide the cursor, the trend line has been down, slightly up, down, slightly up, down, 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 and you can see it's marching downward. Okay, we only have the data for the first 7 days of July. That encompasses one of the biggest holidays, or should be, that the Disney parks experience, the 4th of July. It's a huge holiday. And the rest of the month is usually far lower in terms of attendance than the 4th of July. One would have to surmise that's going to happen again. Like the 4th will be the highest point for July. And July fell off a cliff during the holiday week. So I don't know where this thing is going to be, but it's going to be really bad. I mean, it's going to be bad. Lauren, when you look at this graph, what are you saying to the people out there who say, oh, no, Disney's fine. No, it's all good. It's A-okay. Just as crowded as it's ever been.
Kind of what we've said before is that they are not in a position that they are traditionally used to being in. They've always used the park revenues to cover all of their other projects. They have dominated the theme park space for a good long time. They now have competition. And I don't think they're really used to that. I think that they thought that they could brush it off and say, well, we don't really view them as competitors. And having this other park over here is going to be good for all of us. And we're not really worried about them. I think they're definitely worried about them now, but it's too late. They should have been scrambling years ago. These guys are not efficient. They lost Reedy Creek, and that became an enormous blow to them. It makes it more difficult for them to do anything that they would want to do to try and compete. They're in a bad spot, and I agree with you. I think that trend line is going to keep going down. People are dealing with so many things in their lives these days. They have to make their budget stretch, and they just keep raising prices and giving you a lesser experience. Nobody is going to pay for a declining service.
Absolutely. And go ahead, Vash.
I want to also talk about that revenue situation, because people might say, well, people eventually got in there because of the fireworks and everything else. Bro, you're lying and all that. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Just because people show up for fireworks, then walk right back out, that doesn't equate to revenue for the Walt Disney Company. The people who stay all day, who actually go there from the morning and then leave after the fireworks, they're going to be getting what? 1 or 2 different meals at various restaurants in the park that they're actually in. They're going to be, shopping for merchandise. That's how the revenue really comes pouring in right there. So even if the crowds eventually showed up, it didn't amount to anything. And that should be of a very big concern for the Walt Disney Company, just as Lauren had astutely pointed out.
Absolutely. Ron, I'll go to you for the final word. Ron, we're watching these analysts say, yeah, Disney's going to have attendance problems for the next 2 years, but it's okay because it's going to pick up after that. I kind of think that's a defense mechanism that's being instituted, because I think that there's about to be a freak out. And the way they're going to stop the narrative of the freak out is to say, folks, we knew this was going to be this way. We knew we were going to go through this. We got to respond to Epic. We had to turn our theme park into a construction zone. We had to get rid of that darn splash trash mountain. We had to kick out the Brairs, and we had to put up the walls and all that. Muppets had to go in order for you all to have the marvelous, happy time you're going to have in 2028, 2029. And that's going to be the line they use to keep investors on their side. I don't think it's a winner. What do you say?
They've been killing the parks since 2012, since New Fantasyland, which wasn't by any means the worst of what they've done. But it seems to me that every time that they've gone into the parks to replace what was already there, to quote unquote upgrade what was already there. They have killed the ambiance of the parks. I know so many people that agree with me about Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, although it always had kind of an identity issue, it has way bigger of an identity issue now than it has ever had before. At least you understood what it was about when you went there, and there was a backlot tour. There were the Streets of America. There was Lights, Motors, Action.
They might as well call it Potpourri Park, Ron. They might as well call it Potpourri Park at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And the worst part of it is, and by the way, I checked the data on this. Hollywood Studios attendance is down, and I want to say it's by like 10,000 or more per year than what it was 10 years ago. In other words, there are fewer people, absolutely, by the data, coming to that park than there were before they put billions of dollars worth of improvements into it. In other words, all of the money that they put into, all of the spending they put into to Walt Disney World, they're not recouping it. They're not recouping it in ticket sales. They're trying to get it out of lightning lanes. But I think that people are now wising up and catching on to the whole lightning lane thing. When they come in and they see the park like this, people that spent money on lightning lanes for the 4th of July are ticked off. And I know people now that have actually gone to guest relations and said, all of these attractions are walk-ons. We want our money back because it's ridiculous, especially if you pay for that highest tier, that premier pass, where you paid an extra $400 a day per person for the premium lightning lane, and yet you're waiting no less time than anybody that didn't pay a darn thing. That it would be incredibly frustrating. And if Disney keeps this up, they've already lost so much of their reputation. I think their reputation is in the gutter now. If they don't turn tail quick, it's going to be gone.
Yep. And listen, if an entire month, the month of June, which has to be the most populated month of summer for the theme parks, if that being a 2 out of 10 on the scale of crowdedness doesn't qualify for empty, I don't know what does. We've been telling you what was coming, folks. It's come to be. We're telling you it's going to get worse, not better for Disney. This response to Epic Universe is laughable, and it is a misreading completely of the marketplace. It is a mistake that will last a generation for Disney and will haunt them much more than the Haunted Mansion. It will haunt them for decades to come. Put this baby to bed. This video is over. Turn off the lights, but not quite yet, folks, because we do ask one final thing before we say goodbye, and that is, would you consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Also greatly appreciated anytime you would like to share this out on your favorite social media platforms. Well, we would love that. And we'd also love to hear your thoughts. Folks, drop a comment down below and use that beautiful mind of yours. If you would not mind, we'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, it's as simple as clicking the join button. It is the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of new, cool, exclusive information. Folks, until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.